So I'm with David Bullock, who's going to be emceeing our picnic in the park and kind of ramrodding the storytelling. And you got a story to tell, come and tell it. This would be a great place to tell that and intermingle and meet with everybody. But David, last year you came up to this Moon Lake gathering. I call it the Rendezvous. Other people call it all kinds of things, but it's officially called the Moon Lake Gathering, the Gathering at Moon Lake.
The Morgan Powwow.
It used to be formerly the Morgan Powwow. Anyway, you came up to it last year, David, and I noticed you was talking to a few of the people. Tell me some of the people that you ran into and some of the stories you heard and what you thought about it.
Well, I met some of the nicest, strangest, friendliest, most wonderful people. I mean, there were people from all over the country that were there, and they were so giving and sharing. And there was one guy I saw before the powwow started. He was in the market. Where was that? Iona or something? Is there a little town up there called that? But anyway, he was asking the directions for the powwow rendezvous. And the gal told him how to get there. And so I followed him, and I thought he was a character. I mean, I've got some long hair, but this guy had long gray hair. It was almost white, and he was just a character that you couldn't help but want to approach and have him tell you stories.
And he had some great stories, too.
And he did have some great stories. His family had mined up there, or prospected, I should say, since he was a little boy.
Up there near Moon Lake?
Up there near Moon Lake, and he was just about my age, and we both had so much in common. We started talking, and talked after the powwow Saturday night, talked into the night, and then he says, well, I got to get back up there, and I found out that as you go into Moon Lake, there's a bridge. And before that bridge is a little dirt road that takes off, and he had a tent down in there, and he'd been camping there doing his prospecting. And he says, you're invited to come up and spend the night there. And I just camp out in my pickup truck. So I followed him, drove up in there, and we stayed up until the early hours of the morning, hearing him tell stories. And we got up in the morning. I had to pick my dog up at the kennel before they closed. So I really was in a hurry to get back down, but he wanted to take me up into the Uintas. We were going to go on a hike, and he was going to show me things that he knew, and I just didn't have time. And to board a dog in this area is about as expensive as going to a resort hotel. And I didn't want to pay for another night for that dog, and they were expecting me to be there. So I had to leave early in the morning, but we drove down the road, and he pointed out some things to me. I won't mention them, but by golly, he pointed out stuff to me that just blew my mind when he talked about going into those places and the things that he'd seen. And he says, I've told you my secrets now. Now I can rest in peace. Well, I couldn't buy a book from him because they were all sold out. You guys are so successful, I think I'm going to write a couple of books and bring them to the rendezvous.
And so to back up on that, it's Michael Fursick? Fursick.
What kind of book did he have, Dave?
It was...
So that was that dowsing book. So he's the one, he brought a bunch, he wrote a book on dowsing, and he brought a bunch of them and donated them to the gathering, and we auctioned them off to help pay for the gathering, and man, it's...
Well, he told me I could get one off of Amazon. I bought 3 of them.
Oh.
And they're somewhere in here. Fascinating. The guy's a scientist. He's brilliant. A brilliant mind, and he knows how these attractions of metals and elements work. And so he had a dowsing instrument that I had never seen the likes of before.
Really?
And he was just I was so drawn to him.
Yeah, he was an interesting.
And we
character,
stopped.
yeah.
We saw Terry, going out of Moon Lake, and we saw him visiting with people there, and so we pulled over and kind of added to the confusion. And I enjoyed this guy so much, and I wanted him to know that I had ordered a book and received it in the mail, and by golly, if we ever got together again, I'd want him to sign it, and he never responded. And I've got his phone number.
Well, maybe he'll be there this time.
He never responded, and it really makes me kind of scared, because he says, now I can rest in peace.
And he said the same thing to me. He sent me a manila envelope clear full of information and said the same thing to me. So I
Never
hope- I
heard
hope
from him
Michael,
since.
Michael, I hope you're all right.
Yeah, we do. Michael, you're a good man.
Yeah. And we'd have never met him if we hadn't went to the gathering.
Yeah.
So
He really helped us with that donation. He did, because those books went in like 2 minutes. And to get a book, you had to donate $20 or something.
yeah, I think
Yeah, it
so.
was 20.
He must have had 20 of them there.
Oh, he had a bunch, and I mean, I looked down there and just went, they were just gone. And that helped us a ton, because we had a bunch of expenses. And very cool. I didn't know that, Dave. You can tell me that.
Yeah, well, I've got 3 of those books, and the books are full of so much valuable information. I need special tutorage to learn how all the stuff he knows. I wish that I could just tag along with him on his prospecting journeys. He's quite a guy. He's just spent his life up in there, and then having to work different jobs and being drawn away from the Uintas was kind of hard on him, I think. But he spent time up in there, a lot of time
But
with
you know
his
what,
dad.
What you just did, when you come to the powwow, you got to go mingle, and you can meet these kind of people. Otherwise, you never would have met him.
Yeah. The guys from Minnesota or somewhere
Missouri.
that had the barbecue sauces.
Missouri, yeah, they're going to be here. Yeah.
Awesome gentlemen.
Yeah.
Those were the friendliest guys. I mean, I wanted to put my chair right next to theirs.
Yeah.
You know, they were really the best group of people, and everybody that was in there was so friendly. I don't think you'll come across a group of better people that have common interests, no matter how uncommon those interests are.
Yeah.
So now I was just gonna say, that was just one story of somebody that you met, but there was hundreds of people like that there that had stories, hundreds of great people. And so, man, you want to come to this powwow this year, this gathering, this rendezvous, to see who comes, because there was people that came from all across the country,
Yep.
And so, man, we hope to see all of you guys there this year at the Moon Lake Gathering in Altamont, Utah, in
And look for
August.
And we're doing a story on Dave, and it'll be on our Facebook in a week or two or whatever.
This is August 12th, 13th, 2022, and yeah, check out the web page, the Facebook page.
Yeah.
What's the name of
Gathering
the Facebook
of
page?
Moon Lake / that'll usually get you there, but if not, Morgan Powwow. It's long. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it'll
long,
get
but
you
it'll
there.
get you there.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll be having more information on the Facebook page as we're learning more ourselves of what's coming on. But for sure, it's happening August 12th and 13th, 2022. And with that said, that's a wrap.